Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Lessons for Life from Swami Jagatmananji's inspiring bestseller Learn to Live, Volume 1, Chapter 2, Infinite Power Hidden Within You. Now, the glory and the supreme importance of faith is discussed in great detail here. Let us listen to Swami Jagatmananji's discussion on this important, very vital subject. Faith, the source of strength. Is the spirit of firm faith only to be useful in finding a cure for physical ailments? We should know how faith can contribute to the individual's progress in life. How does faith produce its impact? How does it bring the light to life? What is its potential? What are its secrets? Is faith only a matter pertaining to religion alone? The so-called intellectuals have developed a phobia for everything related to religion and refer to faith as mere blind belief. Many of our intellectuals are not aware that this phobia has its roots in the blind imitation of the conflict that took place in the West between religious men and scientists. It became fashionable among many avant-garde thinkers to view all forms of faith as being blind. Not that there are not meaningless practices observed in the name of religion. It is true that blind belief is detrimental to the progress of mankind. But the fanatical spirit of arguing that one's own view is absolutely right is more dangerous than blind belief. Do the critics of faith really try to understand the meaning and importance of true faith? Isn't it unnecessarily harsh to find fault with something before making an honest attempt to understand it? Have the critics of faith ever brought their intelligence to bear upon a personal observation of faith, which could make them aware of its efficacy and benefit? What strength can they ever offer the people, if not through faith? Faith is a basic necessity of life. Even the scientist proceeds in his study of the universe with the basic faith that it is based on certain facts which can be analyzed and reduced to a law. Can we visualize our aims, desires and goals and strive for their fulfillment without the foundation of a strong faith? It is good to condemn blind belief, but it is better to show people what faith really is and how it differs from blind belief. Isn't it better to light a lamp than just to shout, "It is dark, it is dark"? It is not enough to hate darkness. It is necessary to love light too. It is commendable to negate falsehood, but it is just as useful to point out the truth. Those who hate darkness are in the danger of eternally pondering over darkness and getting totally absorbed and getting totally lost in it. Unknowingly, they may turn into prophets of darkness. Therefore, it is better to pay attention to light. Faith is a quality of the self. It is a great power of the mind. It can be used beneficially by everyone at all times. Faith is certain to have a positive effect on our life, health, profession, and our mind. Faith is the key with which we can open the secret treasures of this universe. It is the path that leads to the Supreme Being, who is the repository of all power and glory that manifests in this world. It is also the means of acquiring tremendous energy. It is faith that gives us the steadiness to hold on with optimism in the midst of gloom and destruction. With true faith, one can attain enlightenment, says the Bhagavad Gita. Let us now examine a few real incidents which illustrate the nature of faith. Swamiji's observations. In New York, I used to observe the Irish colonists come downtrodden, haggard-looking, destitute of all possessions at home, penniless and wooden-headed, with their only belongings a stick and a bundle of rags. Hanging at the end of it, fright in their steps, alarm in their eyes. A different spectacle in 6 months. The man walks upright, his attire is changed. In his eyes and steps there is no more sign of fright. What is the cause? Our Vedanta says that the Irishman was kept surrounded by contempt in his own country. The whole of nature was telling him with one voice, Pat, you have no more hope. You are born a slave and will remain so. Having been thus told from his birth, Pat believed in it and hypnotized himself that he was very low and the Brahman in him shrank away, while no sooner had he landed in America than he heard the shout going up on all sides, Pat, you are a man, as we are. It is man who has done all. A man like you and me can do everything. Have courage. Pat raised his head and saw that it was so. The Brahman within woke up. Nature herself spoke, as it were, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Pat had been in a state of humiliation. When the spirit of confidence arose in his mind, he turned into a different man. Swami Vivekananda continues. At the Parliament of Religions in America, there came among others a young man, a born Negro, a real African Negro, and he made a beautiful speech. I became interested in the young man and now and then talked to him, but could learn nothing about him. But one day in England, I met some Americans, and this is what they told me. This boy was the son of a Negro chief who lived in the heart of Africa, and that one day another chief became angry with the father of this boy and murdered him, and murdered the mother also, and they were cooked and eaten. He ordered the child to be killed also and cooked and eaten. But the boy fled, and after passing through great hardships and having travelled a distance of several hundreds of miles, he reached the seashore, and there he was taken into an American vessel and brought over to America, and this boy made that speech. After that, what was I to think of your doctrine of heredity? He had come from a family which had been illiterate for generations. But in the new environment, he got the self-confidence necessary for his educational adventure. His faith that he would do well in his studies brought him forward. His genius blossomed. Each one possesses in himself an unlimited, unfathomable energy. Faith kindles it. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.